Hello. For this segment of our Textile Evening School, I will provide a bite-sized focus on careers that relate to the workshop this evening, which is Textile Design. It should take no longer than about 6 or 7 minutes. In my previous careers chat relating to embroidery, which can be found on our YouTube channel, I talk about a range of careers. During the knit workshop, I focused on the duties and approaches taken by a designer. For this presentation, however, following a little focus on a selection of our alumni or graduates who have careers in the textile design industry, I will go on to discuss a career direction for which a lot of textile students are reliant, that of trend predictions. I will start with a snapshot of some of the careers that have developed for our textile alumni, okay? Or I suppose our graduates, probably who graduated over the last kind of 4 or 5 years. Amy has worked in a number of weave design studios and mills and currently specialises in design relating to colour and materials used in the automotive industry at Jaguar Land Rover. Zoe has always been drawn to working with paper and is a wallpaper designer for the interior company Graham & Brown. Laura has also worked at a number of mills and currently designs cloth for Burberry. Sophie, despite being drawn to colour and pattern in a very big way, is based in South Carolina, USA, and designs car interiors for Sage Automotives. Laura has worked for a number of years for Wilkinson's, designing their homeware ranges. She now has her own business working as an illustrator and continues to work freelance for high street brands. Hannah works as a print designer for fashion design company Sun Textile. Dan is a senior designer at Jules and having also worked at Liberty's in their studio. What is great is that Dan actually now runs sponsored projects with our own students, and here you can see Dan presenting an award to one of our second years. So all these people who work in design studios will spend a lot of time designing. While some studios will be heavily drawn towards design development based on archives, most will also engage either lightly or be fully responsive to trend developments. So trend predictions, if you do not already know, evolve up to 5 years ahead of ideas that find themselves on the catwalk, in our homes or on the high street. Predictions are developed for many areas of the market, including fashion and interiors, and can be focused on colour, textiles, surfaces, fashion silhouettes, and the spaces we inhabit for living, working, socialising, etc. For today's focus, I would like to give a very brief insight into the work of a trend predictor, or some prefer to be known as futurists, which I think is pretty cool. So Victoria Redshaw, who you can see here, is co-owner of trend prediction company Scarlet Opus and is one of our alumni from the textile course. Victoria is a futurist, or as a futurist rather, creates trends for interior markets and then works with clients to help realise the predictions. At one point, interior predictions tended to follow fashion directions, usually a season or two later. In the last 5 years, however, they have moved to develop their own vision and narrative, which, much like fashion, actually responds to global, political, social and ethical challenges or experiences. So what are the core roles of a trend prediction company? There are a number of aspects, but research is a core element. A researcher will be gathering data on a daily basis to help build a picture of a direction that design will take in the future, a way in which I guess it's going to impact on our lives. These predictions are not miraculously plucked from the air, but are based in sound and logical insight. Once research has been gathered, there will be analysis of the data, observations will be made, and creative visions or understandings will be developed to communicate the trends to their clients. So, as you may observe, while this is clearly a very a very creative role that requires people to tap into the unknown, it is also very much about all those vital research skills that are so often forming the foundations of any good degree course. So what are the kind of things that are researched in order to develop a trend that has a sound foundation? Well, it is varied, from events in the news to economic situations, technological developments through to cultural events such as exhibitions or sports happenings, environmental disasters through to growing social changes or demands relating to race, gender, and communities that do not usually have a platform. It can come from a visit to a number of cities and observations of a subculture's styling choices, through to observations of a historical anniversary that is coming up. So, for example, hip hop being 50 years old in the next 18 months, I think. So, I need to keep this brief. So this was hopefully enough of an insight into a range of designer roles, from car interiors to couture fashion, as well as a peek into a vital sector of the textile industry, that is textile predictions. If you would like a little further insight into textiles at Huddersfield, want to observe our students' work from a distance on Instagram, or maybe even find out a little bit more about studying textiles at uni, you might find these links useful. Feel free to get in touch with me directly if you like, or feel free just to ask me some questions when we get back into the workshop. Thank you.